Hey guys, David from Finish Line Factory, and this is my 2002 Mazda Miata. We just dropped in a built engine, tuned it, it's got turbocharger and all that cool stuff. And well, I've run into some issues, which, I mean, it's got a whole new setup, so I'm kind of expected that I'd have some issues here or there. The primary one is that the turbo seems to have an oil leak. It looks like it's leaking from the oil drain gasket. In addition, the manifold is cracked. Now, the manifold came with the MK turbo kit, and it's it's okay, but I think one of the welds, particularly in the back side, maybe didn't have good penetration, maybe wasn't all the way through, so that's got a crack in it. I think it's also got a crack in the flange, which I figured I could live with, but the new crack is large enough that it's actually causing some problems. So we're going to go ahead and start removing the turbocharger, the exhaust manifold, and I'm going to get those get a new gasket and get the crack welded up. So the first thing that I've got to do, we got to take the filter off, got to take the downpipe off, intake, all the hoses. Not too difficult. Then remove the turbocharger from the exhaust manifold. So that should take a couple minutes, and then I got to remove all of the bolts for all the nuts for the exhaust manifold. Most of those are actually pretty easy to get to. It's this one in the middle that's a huge pain in the butt to get to because it's between the runners, so you have very little space to swing a wrench. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's see what I can get done. Alright guys, turbocharger has been removed. Looks okay. I'll take a quick look at it, and I'm going to start removing the exhaust manifold pretty soon. So on the turbo, this right here, this is what's leaking, this little gasket. Oddly enough, the turbo didn't leak when I took it off the car. It was perfectly fine. So somehow the action of putting it onto the new engine somehow made it leak. I don't know. I don't care to discuss it. Let's just take it off and change it. You know something, I've always wanted to start an engine without at least without the turbo on or without the header connected. I bet it's going to be really, really loud. So before we take the header off, let's do that real quick. It's going to be loud. So that was actually pretty awesome. It wasn't as loud as I thought it was going to be. Like, it's pretty loud, but like, it wasn't any louder than like an open dump or like a straight pipe exhaust. So that's actually pretty cool. What wasn't pretty cool was the fact that I didn't really foresee this. I forgot to cap off the turbo oil feed and sprayed oil everywhere, which I had to clean up. So that wasn't fun. Granted, I mean the engine was only running for just a few moments, but it really shows just how much oil flows through the turbo, even at idle. Like, I had a nice big puddle like this big, so I shouldn't have done that, and I'm sorry. Alright, got the manifold off. That wasn't so bad. Got it taken care of. So let me show you guys where the crack is. So you look right there, you get a nice big crack on the manifold. And I believe we might have a crack, yep, right there on the header as well. So I'm gonna get those taken care of. On second thought, I've got a different idea. Okay, so back in August, September, whenever it was, I purchased a bunch of parts from this guy in Tampa. This included the short block to my engine, a turbocharger that I've sold, cylinder head, stuff like that, all this stuff for a Miata, right? And most of the parts I couldn't really use or I didn't really want to use. But one of the parts that I got from this guy was a turbo manifold for a Miata. Brand new, very, very good welds, much better than the one that came with the MK turbo kit. Very high quality. However, the reason why I didn't use it on the new motor was because it moves pretty much the entire turbo about a couple inches forward, and that makes things difficult because the downpipe won't reach it. So I was curious to see where everything would end up, so I went ahead and mounted it with just like one nut, and I put the turbo on, and yeah, that actually looks really, really good. You know, like the manifold is in the right place. You got the wastegate kind of just mocked up right there. I'm going to continue to run the internal wastegate until I replace the turbo. The oil feed reaches right there. Oil drain, I have to move it a little bit, but it'll work. The only thing that doesn't work is the downpipe. You see, it's just 2 inches forward, or 2 inches too short. But I think if I go ahead and loosen the exhaust up from the catback, I might actually be able to just push it forward and link it up. And if I can do that, I mean, heck, I'll just drive like that, whatever. Alright, so I loosened the downpipe at the bottom, took its V-band off, and this kind of works. Yeah, like it fits. I mean, it's not ideal, because now, the scary thing is, okay, so I don't want to get under there, but... So the downpipe really ends about here, and then the O2 sensor is like 3 inches in front of that. And I think having such a short run of pipe before the O2 sensor could possibly damage it. So this is technically a bad idea. So I probably shouldn't do it. I'm going to do it anyway. Wow, seriously. Everything fits. I mean, the downpipe is disconnected at the bottom, but everything just bolts right on. So I imagine with the with this manifold, the volumetric efficiency is going to probably be improved. So I might need to do some mild retuning. Just fuel. I think ignition should be fine. But wow, like, I didn't think that everything would fit so well, but I didn't even have to modify the oil drain tube. It all bolts right up. So I know everything just kind of moved forward like 2 inches, but I guess the only real major problem was the downpipe. So cool. All right, guys. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna have another big Miata update coming up pretty soon, so be sure to be checking out for that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you later. Be sure to check out finishlinefactory.com if you need any fittings or hoses, and I'll catch you later. See ya. Bye.